course, Brendan, over here, the BBC goes from weakness to weakness. It still is imposing its £100 million diversity plan on the artistic process. Apparently, the head of comedy at the BBC revealed at the Edinburgh Television Festival a couple of weeks back that the first thing the head of the channel chiefs says to him when he says, I've got a new comedy in the pipeline, she says, what's the diversity element? Not is it funny, is it any good,
yes.
But what's the diversity element? So this madness is prospering on both sides of the Atlantic. You and I often say, when will it stop? And we try our best to point out the insanity of it all. But what can we do to try and get our message across?
Well, I think the key message to get across is that, it's all well and good to talk about diversity in relation to skin color or gender or whatever else, which is the only thing the BBC is interested in. But more important than that is diversity of opinion and diversity of thought. And if you look at something like the BBC, all the statistics show that in terms of representing the nation, it is actually very diverse already, and it actually over eggs the pudding, if you see what I mean.
Too diverse.
Too diverse, and that's fine.
I'll give you a good example. A Suitable Boy, the BBC was very proud of spending £16 million of our money on a drama series, Sunday night drama. They thought it would be the new Downton Abbey. It was based in India. It had 100 characters in it, all of whom were Indian. It was based on an Indian novel about partition there, and no British characters whatsoever, and the BBC can't work out why no one watched it.
Well, and I'm sure in the BBC towers they're putting it down to racism. I have no doubt about
Yes,
that.
We're
also racist. We won't watch it.
But is it good because this new DG, he's and he's thinking like you're thinking, isn't it?
Well,
all change
he's
now?
making the right noises. I'll believe it when I see it.
But he's fighting a losing battle because all the people around him are going to be fighting against him.
Exactly right, Ash. Yeah.
Well, I think he is making the right noises, and I'm relatively optimistic that he might be able to make some change. But the problem is institutional, and I think the rot at the BBC is now quite deep. And the problem is that it talks about diversity all the time, and it's obsessed with a cult of diversity, but it is in terms of ideology and outlook, it is incredibly conformist. There's a BBC type, right? They all come from a particular part of London or some other metropolitan area. They all read The Guardian. They all voted Remain. We know this. They're all very woke. They all think Karens should, white middle-aged women should shut the hell up. They have all these views, and those views run rampant at the BBC. It's the public broadcaster, but it doesn't reflect the public, and that's the problem.
One of my neighbours in leafy northwest London is very, very woke, very sort of BBC, hilariously, and she's furious about it. Her name is Karen.
But it never used to be like that, did it? It's got. Why has it got so bad?
I said to her, it serves you right.
Why has it got so corporate almost, but that sort of left-wing sort of corporate?
Just happened. Brendan, just before you go, can I ask you what you thought about, or what you think, talking of diversity, the dance group Diversity, the other night on the Britain's Got Talent semi-finals, came out, recited a Black Lives Matter poem, and then did a dance reenacting the sad and tragic death of George Floyd, culminating in a knee going down onto the star's Ashley Banjo's neck. And this was hailed as a marvellous moment. The complaints coming in from the public are spiralling. This time yesterday there were about 1,000 complaints. There are now nearly 8,000. And Ofcom, this is, by the way, I've looked into this. This is a clear breach of broadcasting rules. You cannot hijack an entertainment show and deliver a direct political message, whatever that message is. Ofcom say we're looking into it to see whether or not this broke our broadcasting rules. Well, I've got news for them. It did. What do you think about that?
I think what people don't want politics foisted on them all the time when they're trying to watch a Saturday night or a Sunday night TV show. They're relaxing. They want to be entertained. They don't want to be beaten over the head by these woke messages all the time. Yeah. I mean, imagine if someone on Britain's Got Talent or some other TV program did a dance praising Brexit or saying something, vote Boris Johnson. There'd be uproar because politics is not supposed to interfere with these shows. And I think what a lot of ordinary people are now saying is, Get this woke nonsense out of our way. Let us enjoy our lives. Stop policing our language, policing our attitudes, and shoving these political messages down our throat. Yeah. And the BBC and other broadcasters really should listen to those people's voices.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the Tommy Robinson EDL routine on Strictly Come Dancing.
Exactly. Diversity is not diverse enough, is it? Really?
Well, diversity. Somebody's pointed out diversity are very undiverse. Yeah. There aren't any white people.
I think there are. I think there's a couple.
Well, okay.
But then it's not enough. It's not diverse.
A triumph of diversity.
Well, they need more.
So Brendan, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. That's Brendan O'Neill, editor of Spiked Online.